Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Robert Rivera with Who's On First, and today I got some special ladies for you. I got the lady umpires. I got Lisa Ballard, she's from California. I got Dana Cruz, she's here. She's a former Wendelstadt alumni, and we're gonna chop it up with them and see what they got. All right, so Lisa, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Lisa Ballard. I'm from California, like Rob said. I've been umpiring 8 years now, and I just love it.
All right, how about you, Dana?
My name is Dana Cruz. I am from Texas, and I've been umpiring for a few years. I'm still fairly new to baseball, but I've been doing it for a few years now with softball as well. So,
Okay, all right. I mean, so now we Major League Baseball is on the verge of having the first female Major League umpire, Jen Powell. And I mean, what do you guys think of that? Or what do you think, Lisa?
I think it's awesome. I think it's about time, and I think Jen is a great warrior and a great leader for us. It's awesome that she's going to be the first one, and I want it sooner rather than later. It's time.
All right, Dana, what do you think?
like Lisa said, it's definitely time. I'm so incredibly proud that we have, a trailblazer kind of to help other women kind of, and help pave the way for future women to come up, and call games at that level as well. I got very emotional the first time I saw her calling it was a spring training game, but I was like, oh my God, this is such a big step, not only for women, but for MLB as well. So I was very, very emotional, but very excited as well.
All right. I mean, being an umpire is tough. It's one of the most vilified, it's one of the most criticized official in all of sports. You're criticized every single pitch, every single call, every single play. And to do it as a woman, I mean, is it that much harder? What do you think, Lisa?
I think it is. I mean, unfortunately, I think the men don't really expect to see a female out there, and some of them are just intimidated maybe, or, they don't know what to make of it. So they're a little bit harder on us than they need to be. I think, if you and I were umpiring exactly the same, they'd have more questions for me and they'd have more issues with me versus a man.
Okay. Dana, have you come across any of that?
Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. I think, they already see a woman, and it's already kind of foreign to them. And just as foreign as it is to us, it's foreign to them as well. So I can empathize with them in that sense, but I definitely feel that same. They have more questions for me. They call me out a little bit more, and especially because they see that I'm fairly young, and especially when I go without makeup, they see, okay, well, she looks a lot younger than she actually is. And they question me a lot, and I think I get it from the players too. The players are like, oh, well, did you see that? Are you sure you saw that? And it's kind of one of those things where I can kind of, I'm learning to go in stride from the fans more, and I hear them sometimes, and I've kind of gotten over them, but now it's kind of dealing with more the managers and the players that I'm still getting to learn how to deal with.
Okay. You guys ever had a situation where a little girl came up to you and was like, wow, you're a woman umpire, a lady umpire? Like, you ever had that?
For me, just once. It's a one of my dad's friends. She's very, very into baseball. She's little, but she says, I want to do that one day. She saw me in my uniform. She said, I want to do that one day. And I said, go for it, do it. But work hard and be hungry. Work hard and be hungry.
Okay. How about you, Lisa? Any kid ever
Oh,
turn
sure.
around and go, wow, are you the umpire today? You're really
Oh, absolutely. Not just from females. Everybody's kind of in awe of it. It's so novel. They're not used to seeing it. A lot of times the moms are really glad. They're happy that we're out there so that we can show their daughters that it's something that's possible. So
all
yeah, I
right.
get it all the time, and it's great.
All right. So I mean, what do you think if we get that Powell up there? I mean, you're gonna be watching the game. What are you guys gonna be excited, or what do you think?
Absolutely. That'll be awesome. Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm very
Yeah.
excited. I
Okay.
think I think Close Call Sports did a video on her. I think it might have been the day before yesterday, but I was watching that video on how just game management. I think she handled herself very well. It was it's on Close Call Sports on YouTube if y'all want to go check it out. But
I,
I think I enjoy watching those videos a lot just because I want to learn, okay, as a woman, how does she handle this? How does she handle managers approaching her? How does she? And I think she did very, very well. So I'm very
yeah.
excited to see her hopefully soon.
I think it was a double-edged sword on that one.
Yeah.
The second base umpire, he might have jumped the gun a little bit. I'm not sure if he saw, but there is a thing in school that they teach you. You don't point, you open hand and you ask for help. Well, she
Yeah.
pointed and said, that's a strike, gave him the hammer, and the second base umpire came up with the save. And for me, I always made sure, like my partner, I made eye contact when they wanted my help. And there's times that I've like, and their catcher, pitcher, the dugout, the manager, the coach. And then all of a sudden, Rob, did he go? Yes, he did. Boom, there it is. Now, Tom asked me, I'll give it to you, you know, and that's the way it should be. But it's in that three-man position, sometimes it is hard. So that was probably a simple mistake. And she did. She managed it. She handled it well. She held her ground. I saw the other umpires come. They didn't let her get surrounded. That was kudos to them. She's going to have an argument. She has an argument with the manager. You don't let the batter, you don't let anybody else get in on it, and you corral them. Hey, come this way. Hey, you got to handle the manager. You got to give him the explanation. And she said, no, I pointed, and call strikes are what? Unappealable. Now, Lisa, what got you into this? Why did you want to be an umpire and then a woman and a lady on top of it? Like, who does that?
So I was just a mom. I was a Little League volunteer and I was coaching and managing my son's Little League team. And of course, we had a shortage of umpires. So my local league said, okay, everyone that's managing has to umpire, 2 games this season just so we can cover the games. So I tried it. And, once you try it, you love it. So I kind of got hooked from there. And, now my son's aged out of the Little League program, but I'm still there and umpiring, almost every night for them.
I see you. You're all over the place. You're on Facebook. You're going here, going to the high school. I'm not going to the Little League. They didn't have any games. I went over here. And then I was going to the high school. They didn't have any games. I went over there. And then I picked up a sandwich over there. And then I went I'm like, boy, Lisa, you got me tired. I was like, I'm sitting on the couch and I'm tired.
I just got hooked and then I couldn't get enough of it. So, it's just a love now.
Tell me, Dana, I mean, you went to school. You went to the Wendelstadt school last year. I mean, tell Lisa how a piece of cake that program was, right? Lisa, all about it.
Oh my gosh. Well, it was such a big blessing, such a big blessing. I was only one of 2 women who attended this year in my class. It was just such a big blessing to be, even having a chance to go. I think, the first, because, you kind of start with rules in the classroom. Some days you'll start in the fields first, but most days you start in the classroom first. And then you go to the fields and you you kind of work on drills that go along, with what you learn in the classroom. And, the first 2 weeks were, okay, I love it. I'm having fun and I'm working. And then week 3 came and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. Do I even belong here? I don't think I deserve to be here. And it was kind of one of those things where it was a lot of information very quickly, especially as you near the end of the course. They're going to pack a little bit more on you and they expect a lot more from you at that point. Week 4 I was like on the verge of having like I was like, oh my God, I don't know. I'm gonna just, I don't want to leave, but I don't know if I can do this, and it was especially because, there's only 2 women, so you can't really hide another one, everybody knows who you are, everybody sees you, everybody knows what you're doing. Overall though, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything. I had the time of my life and it was stressful at times. You have tests every week and most nights you have quizzes, sometimes several quizzes a night. So you get back from I would usually stay late after class ended, like at 5. Sometimes I would leave the field at like 6:30 just practicing. I know Robert stayed with me a little bit one evening. I'd get back, go have dinner, study, do our quizzes, go to sleep, do it again the next day. And it put things into perspective a lot for me. It really did. And I, props to any umpires, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Even if you haven't gone to school, it's a lot, and studying on your own is hard. And I'm just very blessed that I had that opportunity to learn from both major and minor league umpires. And was, professionally trained in the best way possible. So I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah. I equate pro school to a bottle of water. We start off real nice. They give you the little, here's a
Yeah.
drizzle. And then by that second, third week, and then that fourth week, and then that fifth week, they got this bad boy
Yep.
upside down. And they going, tell me you want more. And you're going, you want more. You're like,
Yes.
but you know what? At the end of it, you look back on it and you go, wow, I really did it. Because I got injured my second week and I was done. I was like, I'm going home. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to get on the field. I bruised the cartilage in my left knee. And in between, when they took the x-ray, the little cartilage is supposed to be white. I think it was black. And I just couldn't bend my knee. I couldn't walk fast enough. I couldn't. And it was Monday, Tuesday, come Wednesday, they were like, listen, you better get on the field. You're going to get a 0 this week for field. And I'm like, what? And they said, yeah, it might hinder you from, graduating. And I'm like, ooh. And he said, you better figure it out fast. And I walked out of there with my head down, and one of the guys from Texas, and he turned around and he put his hand around my shoulder, and he told her, he said, hey, don't you put your head down. He goes, we're going to figure this out. And when we got back, he said, let's go to CVS. We went to CVS, and I got ace bandages. I got a knee brace. I got duct tape. And I tell you, I put everything on that knee, and I duct taped my leg, and I hobbled around.
But you got it done. You got it done.
And it was, of course, it's, that first little play, the shortstop, you go up the first baseline and you're like, I got this, no problem. I could do this. And then next thing you know, it's the double play. And then next thing you know, it's first to third, and I got third if he comes. And I'm just, like a wounded horse, and turn around and come off the field. And I'm like, I did it, but I had a tear coming down because I was in so much pain. And then, the next play goes, and then you hear the instructor scream. He goes, come on, let's get up that first base line. He goes, Rivera did it. He's got one good leg. He's like halfway up that line. Let's go. And I'm like, holy smokes. They shouted me out. I'm like, oh, wow, this is cool. But yeah, it's amazing time. If anybody ever get to Wendelstadts, have fun, have a blast. So, Lisa, I get you to meet Miss Powell. What would you say to her?
She and I actually have had conversations over the phone and on FaceTime. I've never met her face to face. And, she's just always so full of support and advice. And she's just a true inspiration, really. She's just a true leader for female umpires.
All right. So you got to meet her. Look at you. Wow.
Well, not in person yet. We've talked.
On the phone. That's cool.
Yeah.
How about you, Dana? What would you say to her?
Oh my gosh, I would start by crying. Let's start there. Let's start crying. I think it's just, like I said, it made me very emotional watching her on TV because it was such a big moment, I think if I were to meet her, I would just kind of express a lot of gratitude towards her for doing the thing, and for, like I said, essentially being a trailblazer for women who are going to come after her. I think I would just thank her, and I would, I get to ask her some situations, how she would handle herself, I think. But yeah.
All right. So now we're not even talking about umpires anymore. There's coaches now, right? We got pitching instructors, we got batting coaches now, we got managers in the minor leagues. We had a GM for the Marlins. Women are making strides in this world. What do you guys think? And it's not just in baseball. I'm seeing now they got coaches in the NFL. I think it was the 49ers had a lady coach there for their wide receivers or something like that. So, the women are making strides, and they're coming into these men-dominated fields. And, what do you guys think about that?
I think it's about time. Why not, right?
My thing is, I think we need best qualified.
Sure.
And it for me, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or woman, best qualified. If you can umpire better than me, hell, I'll go sit at third base.
Absolutely.
I don't care. Yeah, so sometimes it's best qualified. Dana, what do you think?
Like Lisa said, I think it's about time. I think, if you know your stuff, we're just as deserving to be there as much as anyone. regardless of whether you're a man or a woman or whatever you identify as. I think if you know your stuff and you're good at what you do and you're passionate about what you do, also, I think, it's everyone deserves, a shot. The other day I had a game with a partner that I hadn't been with before, and he said, "You have a lot of guts coming out here," and I was like, "What do you mean?" I had the plate and I was walking with my mask, and he's like, "Yeah, like you're coming into a very male dominated, field of, just men everywhere and men, coaches. You don't really see women doing this often." I said, I don't think about it anymore though. And he was like, "What do you mean?" I said, I don't see a separation between myself and a man. I just come and do a job that I know I love." And he saw and he was like, like, I really like that answer. And I said, "Yeah, because I don't think about it anymore. I just come and I show up and I do my job. And I know my stuff. I think everyone can always improve. I think there's always room for improvement. But that kind of struck a chord to me. It really did. I said, I think I'm just as deserving to be on here as much as you." And yeah.
Yeah, and the NBA also, they have a lot of women referees. I'm starting to notice that also. So I mean, the women are coming up. Maybe we're lucky. We'll get a female umpire with a female player. What do you think?
Oh my gosh, I'd be over the moon, over the moon. I think, in any event, I think, umpires are just, we're there to call a fair game. And as much as I'd love, a woman to be on the field at the same time, playing as much as I'd love to see a woman playing on the field as the same time that a woman's calling a game, I hope that wouldn't be an argument that someone brings up, like, "Oh, well, she's just a woman, she's giving her a pass and this and that," because players are doing their job too. So I hope, that we are more progressive in, good ways.
All right, great. I mean, Lisa, you're a mom out there and you're umpiring. What does your kids think about you umpiring? And do they sit there and go to the field and go, "Oh, yeah, that's my mom"? Then is she back there? Oh my God.
He's older now, so he's a teenager, so he likes to pretend he doesn't know who I am.
Oh no. No.
He loves it. He started umpiring at the same time I did, so he was a young child umpire and he still loves it. So we it was a fun way, we had something to do together as well.
My dad umpired all me, my older brother, and my younger brother's baseball game. And he called us all out at home plate and he struck us all out.
I love it.
I love it. I love it.
You'll love this. About 10 years later, I seeked revenge, and it wasn't because I wanted to have revenge, but he was coaching, and I told him to cut it out. And I turned around, and he goes, "Don't you talk to me like that," and I threw him out of the game. And I was like,
there you
go. And we were walking around the house like two gunslingers for about 2 weeks, and we'd be like walking by, and you'd be like, "Is he gonna deck me? What's he gonna do?" I'm like, and one of the guys at the end of it, he's like, "Boy, you really threw your dad out the game?" I was like, "I told him enough." And he tells, "Don't you tell me enough?" And I was like, "That's it, you're done.
You're done."
I'm out the game. And that was my revenge for calling me out at home plate and striking me out. But my lesson was that anytime my dad umpired a game, I never let him make a call. Anything that came around the plate got cracked. Pop up, ground ball, whatever it was. 1-1 count, and the ball's 10 feet over my head. I'm taking a swing because I'm not letting this guy make it.
You're not
anything close, I wasn't even going to try for it. I wasn't, because I was going to get called out. I knew it. I was like, I'll stay at third. Don't worry about it. I'm good. So it wasn't so much a revenge, but my dad was the one that got me into baseball. He's the one that got me into umpiring, and it kept me close to the game after I was done playing. So for me, but I enjoy women umpires. I enjoy anybody umpiring. I really enjoy it. And I've umpired with female umpires. I've never had a problem with them. Let's do the game. Let's do it right. Let's be fair. That's what we're here for. We're here to enjoy the game, and the best umpire is the one you never see. But exactly. If you have to see me, we got a problem. I don't want that problem. One more question. So what advice would you give to an umpire? they came up to you and said, hey, I want to umpire, young man, young woman, whatever. I want to umpire. What advice would you give them? How about you, Lisa?
I mean, I love it when people want to umpire. I always tell them, where they can get the training, when our next clinic is, what to look up, what to learn about. I think we need to encourage more umpires. So anytime anyone has positive something to say about umpiring and wants to learn, I tell everyone how much fun it is and how they'll learn to love it. So I always, offer them advice as to where to go to learn how to be a better umpire or learn how to get started in umpiring.
All right. What's your favorite rule, Lisa? What's your favorite rule? Every umpire has a favorite rule.
I don't know that I have a favorite rule. I'm a
Favorite
rules
rule?
person, so I like all the rules. That's why I love umpiring, because you get the rule book and it's all structured and you're out there to enforce the rules. And I don't think I have a favorite one.
Okay. How about you, Dana? What advice would you give to anybody out there that wants to umpire?
Definitely, regardless of whether or not you're a man or a woman, definitely be hungry. Be hungry, and know your study as much as you can with the rules, especially because, you can be very good at mechanics, and you can learn the mechanics, but rules are just as important. So I would definitely say learn the rules, study as much as you can, and learn from other people. Be willing to take constructive criticism as well. That's important. Um, Learn off of people who have been doing it, for a while, and, see what you like, see what you don't like. But, like Lisa said, I would definitely encourage people, give them advice on how they can be introduced into umpiring, where they can get started, clinics as well. And if you ever have the opportunity to go to Wendelstedt or any professional umpire school, do it. It is an incredible experience.
It, I can say it. I'm an alumni. I tell everybody all the time. Listen, it changed my life. I was actually going home my second week after I bruised my knee. I told my dad I was done, and he turned around and he goes, "Huh?" He goes, "You're coming home." Okay. He goes, "So you're a punk?" And I'm like, and he goes, "Yeah, you're wimping out. They punked you." And I was like, "I'm no punk." He goes, "I didn't think I raised one." He goes, "But if you come home with your tail between your legs, you're a punk." And I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. And I said, yeah, it changed my whole, hey, I'm gonna finish this. I'm really gonna finish this. And I did. I went after it. I changed my mentality. I don't care. I'll break my leg, I'll pull it off, and I'll leave it at third base, and I'll be hopping around the field. It's just that, you determination. It's on you what you want to do. And it's anything in life, not just umpiring. If you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a rock star, it's all in your mentality, and learn. And you guys have any like tricks to like study and stuff? Because my trick was like to either get into a group or to write them down. I'm good, like I have really good penmanship, so I really liked to write. And I would take a section 2.0 and I would start writing the definitions, that's how I memorize it. How about you, Dana? What any good tricks of learning?
Well, definitely, I've called a few games since I've, since we've left pro school. And what I'll do is, writing definitely helps me a lot, but um game situations are a really, really great way for me to better understand the rules. So, if regardless of whether I'm on the plate or the bases, I'll, in between innings, if something weird happens, I'll write it down on my card and I'll get home and I'll say, okay, what rule applies to this? How did this affect this? Or what could have come out of this? If this happened, how would this rule have been applied? Um, that's really, really, really helped me, remembering the game situations. It's helped me so, so much. And in school it's different because they give you, okay, we're going to go over this today, study this, these rules are going to be on this quiz. But when you have game situations, you have to know them pretty quickly. And I think, because I take game situations home, study them, go through the rule book, it helps me apply them later on. And also another way that I've been studying lately is I study the rules that I don't like the most first. I get those out of the way first, because if I leave them till the end, I'm like, oh, I don't really like them. I'll just wait. Like, no, I need to get those done first because I don't want to neglect them. So that's another study point that I've been working on recently.
So what's your favorite rule?
Definitely. Well, I think the umpire conduct, there's a section, the OBR book, it says, keep your eyes everlastingly on the ball. I know it's not necessarily like the rules, but that's my favorite part of the rule book. So
Mine is always 901C. That's my favorite. The umpire has the rule to rule. The umpire has the right to rule on anything not specifically covered in these rules. Woo!
That's your favorite. You did tell me that was your favorite rule.
That is my favorite rule. 901C. When in doubt, throw them out. 901C. But listen, guys, don't get it crazy. It's not going to help you on all situations. So, but when you go to school and you go to training and you get, sometimes things pop out of you. Like it happened to me. I called the balk and the pitcher pitched, the batter hit the ball and then got thrown out at second base. Well, they came at me and they said, "Oh no." I said, "No, sir." And I was like, and he goes, "What do you mean, Bob?" I said, "All runners, including the batter, runner, must amass one base safely." And he's like, I said, "Since that happened, now we don't enforce the balk. We just go with the play." And he goes, "What did you say?" And I'm looking around going, "What did I say?" I'm like, holy smokes, that came out. And then I'm like, wait a minute. All runners, including the batter runner, must advance one base safely. All runners, including the batter runner, advance one base safely. So the balk is nullified and we just enforce the play. And he just went, huh? And he turned around and he started walking. And I go, "What is he doing?" He said, "He's looking in the rule book." I'm like, wow, maybe I did impress him. How about you, Lisa? What's one of your things that you like that helps you learn more?
I think what I do is if I have a play come up or a situation or rules, I call up my group of friends and we kind of all discuss it together. So we'll look up the rule together and then we talk about it, what they would have done, what I did, what we should have done, anything like that. So I have a group of, people that I call up with any questions or plays and things like that.
Yeah, I was one of those guys. I would call up or people would call me up and
Exactly.
Hey,
yeah.
this situation, that situation, and sometimes it was always like the second or third guy was like, "Hey, listen, that it happens, but sometimes or like they would turn around and call me, "Hey, I threw this guy out." I'd be like, "That's funny. I threw him out 2 weeks ago." Crazy ejection. How about you, Lisa? Have you had any ejections?
I've had several ejections, but none of them would be crazy.
No,
they're your typical, teenagers yelling at you and using curse words, and so they're gone. I haven't had anything where it was a craziness situation.
Dana, how about you? You had any ejections?
Just one really, just one. It was a coach. He came out to argue a call. I mean, he wasn't even arguing the call. He was just telling me that I got it wrong. And he wasn't even arguing. He was just, "You got it wrong," and yelling, and he kept putting his hands in my face. And I said, "Coach, do not put your hands in my face. Like, I'll listen to you, but don't put your hands in my face." And he kept going like this with his hands, and then he did it again. I said, "Coach, I'm telling you, do not put your hands in my face." So he keeps, saying that I got this call wrong. And then he goes, "You're 0 for 3, Dana." Right here, like centimeters from my face. I said, "You're done." And then he didn't want to leave. He refused to leave after his ejection. He said that I wasn't following procedures properly. I said, "No, when I say you're done, you're done. Go." So that was the only one that kind of, that's the only ejection that I really had. And one thing that they told us at school, Junior Valentine was very adamant. He says, "They'll flip on you in a heartbeat." And it is true. It is so true. And, managers or coaches will come up to me and be like, "Hi, treat me very nice." Something doesn't go their way, like this, they'll flip on you. And that's something that was very jarring to me at first. When I first started, I was like, you just
Yeah.
at me now, like, come on now. But yeah, there's some are crazy.
Yeah, I've had guys come up and be like, "Hey, Rob, you're on the game? Oh man, thank God you're doing the plate." And then around the third inning, "Come on, don't squeeze them down." And you're like, "Wait a minute,
Yep.
10 minutes ago you loved me. What happened? What's going on?" I was like, "Well, what happened to you?" "Don't squeeze my pitcher." I'm like, "Nobody squeeze anybody." I was like, "He hasn't thrown a strike in 2 innings. Don't get mad at me. I don't know what the heck we're talking about here." Okay.
I feel that. Very true.
All right. Well, listen, guys, thank you for being on. I appreciate it so much. Thank you taking out your time. Dana, I wish you luck. How's school going?
Oh, pretty good. Pretty good. I'm leaving at the end of May to go to the Prospect League, so I'm very excited. I'm
Okay.
nervous. But in a good way, I think it's good to be nervous. It means you care. So I'm very excited, looking forward to it.
Lisa, right. Well, I mean, what are you looking forward to this year? I'm sure you umpiring here, you umpiring there. You're gonna make me tired. I sit back and eat a hot dog every time. If I ate a hot dog for every time I saw you umpiring the game, I'd have about a dozen by Thursday.
I'm looking forward to umpiring. That's all.
That's
It's
it.
summertime. It's prime time to umpire. So
Wow. All right. And my favorite thing is I go watch umpires and I watch baseball players, and I tell people all the time, when you're not on the field, guess what you're not? You're not an umpire. You're a spectator. So be that spectator. If you see Lisa out there, if you see Dana, give them a thumbs up, buy them a water, tell them you're doing a great job. But don't tell them they suck and put your finger about this far away, because Dana Dana will chuck you. Dana will send you to the bleachers.
I'll send you back. Don't worry.
Send you back. Yeah, I send you packing. I send you. Thank you for being on. I appreciate you taking out your time. I know you ladies are busy getting your stuff done. I wish you luck. And if you need anything from me, let me know.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. And thank you for having us. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Got to get the ladies on and show these young ladies and young boys out there, hey man, you can learn something from the ladies too. And if you see Dana out there and if you see Lisa, be nice to them. Don't turn on them. Just say, yes, ma'am. Thank you for that strike that was 4 feet over my head. I appreciate that. It was a little outside. Bob Uecker used to say, just a little outside.
Love it.
All right. Have a good one. Thank you. And remember, everybody, as we say here on Who's On First, keep swinging.
If you like the show, please do me a favor. Subscribe. Right. You see it? It's right there. Subscribe, share, like, and don't forget, put that bell on. It'll ding you when I put something else on, all right?